So to continue on, the change that I propose is it gives you a very different dynamic in the game because you are then allowed to explore in one-star mode all of Isofar, except of course for the forbidden parts. But there are some very nice things that you can gain as loot in one-star mode. And for example, you can get some more metal fragments. You can build yourself a whole slew of things that are available in 1-star. And it is something that nobody so far has mentioned, just that there is a lack of opportunity in adventuring in 1-star mode. And once you reach the 2-star mode, then the poison thing goes away because you can gain a skill to compensate for poison, and it won't be so much of a problem. But in 1-star, it's impossible. An alternative would be to have some kind of healer capacity in big towns like Silny or Rasdor. As you can see, it's quite a lot of houses there, and you would expect a healer of some sort, especially if the nearby area is infested with poison giving encounters. So it doesn't make much thematic sense unless you just say, okay, we mitigate the effects of poison. We're just going to assume that there is a free curing capacity somewhere, and just move on. The game really opens up after Fort Istra, because then all the things that you can buy ships, you can do all kinds of chopping wood, and there is mining and stuff. But a missed opportunity in that respect is that there is no growing enclosure of areas. Normally in computer RPGs, you are limited to say this part of the game, and when you reach certain thresholds, you can explore this part of the game, for example. So gradually you gain access to more parts of the world. Now the complete map is given for some reason I still cannot understand. And there is a breaking point if you go adventuring on where you start the game. I restarted the game twice just because it was a false start the first few times. But if you start a game for Grigory and you go adventuring and you die while adventuring, for example, you die death of poison of some sort, so you die somewhere here, the rule says to spawn in Fort Istra, and that is all the way up here, plus the game changes into 2-star mode. And the whole of the story is missing, so this is something that the designers completely forgot, that if you allow people to go exploring at the very start of the game, you cannot say whatever happens if you die, you start in Fort Istra. The rule should be if you haven't reached Fort Istra yet, then it's game over and you have to start a game afresh. So if you go adventuring here, you make very sure that you don't die, because dying means reset the entire game, and that makes much more sense. It also gives a good warning for people to not go not go too far. Then there is the issue of the opening up of all the nodes that you can visit is, I think, a bad design choice, and also the allowing to people to go anywhere is a bad design choice, because it should be gradually opened up. That's what I'm saying. Then there is the cities. The cities are also giving away all the information. So, for example, if you go to well, Silny, for example, doesn't really matter which one. The Silny, all the items that are available for throughout the entire game are already given. However, 90% of all these cards are not obtainable, because, for example, you need for a smoke bomb you need iron ore. You need iron ore. You need iron ore. Iron ore is only obtainable in chapter 2, say 2-star mode of the world game state. So these should all be cards, not in a book, but cards that you that the story says that you gain. So the vendor decks should grow gradually. So you're not looking at, for example, an alloy short sword that you will never be able to craft in the foreseeable future. Well, you can this, for example, this, but I'm just saying these should be cards. The bounties are also a bit too hard, and they should be cards as well. You should be encouraged to explore the game, find out recipes for craftable gear at your level, and discover bounties for your level. It makes no sense to have here campaign 2, campaign 4, and campaign 3 bounties that are impossible right now. So it's only just showing frustrating long-term carrots. So this book should be changed a little bit. Now, so there were several other things. Yeah, travel in most games, like Diablo 2, for example, there are waypoints where you can teleport from one area to another area. There should be some kind of reward for exploring a certain area, and you should have a save point where you can go back to your hub and then teleport to that city. There are ways. One of the ways is to have both of your guards die at a certain point, and then if you make a save point before it, there's a tent for that. Then you can immediately, upon death, spawn back at the nearby area at full health, and then continue on your travel. So by suicide you can jump around the board, but it's not, of course, a very natural way to compensate for well, the lack of waypoints in the game. That is mostly all. The storybook also, this is not the storybook, this is the index book. At the storybook you should have clear warnings that if you go to the next node, then the story triggers and the game jumps into a new star mode. So that is what I did. Let's see. So here is the storybook. Chapter 1.10. So for example here, adventure as chapter 1.9 is one of the last points where you can still explore the game with Alec and Gregory in 1-star mode. And but when I did this, I got poisoned, and that killed the entire adventure. So I had to change that rule as well. But it says here, follow instructions for the exploration phase. That's a very loose way of saying explore the hell out of this game right now. There are some automated things after this, and here is chapter 2 already, and the end of chapter 2, or just before chapter 2, last chance to level up together versus 1-star mode. So this is the final part, and once you trigger the node 102, everything changes, and that's good. But you should know when to stop the story and go adventuring and building up your character. I made a reverse engineering list of all the things that are in this item book, according with the 1-star areas and what loot there was. So it's a lot of analysis. So you can build a lot of things. Prepare for. Ideally, you would enter the chapter 2 area with a full stash of great items that will help you. So gearing up this plus full stack of seal and full stack of Lux Essence, so you can jump start into level into 2-star mode. This is how I save some space. You can see that because of the recesses, the cubes stay even while diagonal. Another thing is that this is also wasted space, because it's much more natural to place the action cubes that are available on the start at the hero bust, and take them off when they are no longer available. At the back of the hero bust, you should write out the initial or starting stats. That makes at least some use of the back part, and you don't have to look up in the book every time. So that's all